Hey there, everyone. This is a spoiler-heavy podcast, so if you'd like not to have the show ruined for you, please avoid listening to this one. Or don't. I'm not going to tell you how to live. Anyway, enjoy.
Captain's Log, December 22nd, 2000. I've found myself stranded on a remote island with nothing but my wits and some ice skates. The only food is coconuts and some leafy greens I've managed to boil into a soup. I'm currently trying to maintain the fire going.
Hey, Brendan, what are you doing in here?
Huh? What do you mean?
What's with the volleyball?
What? Wait a minute. What are you doing here?
This is a closet. I'm getting my shoes.
There's literally sand everywhere. This isn't a...
You okay there, buddy?
Wait.
You doing like a bit?
What's going on?
Are you recording
Jordy?
like a little thing here?
Jordy, I'm scared. I'm coming back to reality. Wait a minute.
What are you doing?
Everything's getting bright. Jordy, I'm scared. Wait. I can hear seagulls again, Jordy.
I'm gonna close this door.
No, wait, Jordy, come back. Come back, please.
If you need help, just knock on the door. I'll bring help.
Well done.
I see you've caught on.
Of course I caught on.
Was it the volleyball?
It was as soon as you said volleyball, I knew where we were going with this. I just needed to get my thoughts together because I went for a Star Trek and I realized where we were.
Oh, no, yeah.
I led with Star Trek, but you threw fucking Castaway on me as a curveball, so I had to realign myself.
Yeah, the ice skates and the coconuts. So what were what you read coconuts and you thought Star Trek?
Well, I mean, hey, did we get there? I think we got there.
We got there. Does it stay there though? That's a question.
Is any of this gonna stay in there? Maybe.
Maybe not.
This is like a mixture between Get Out and Castaway. something going on in there.
Good movies, both of them.
Yeah, dude, great movies. Could you imagine if that's what happened? Just like they tricked a guy into thinking he was on a deserted island, and then he comes out of the vat and he was in the Matrix the whole time.
There's a movie about that called The Matrix too. But what's that one? Jim Carrey.
Sonic.
I'm losing it. No, shut up.
Mr. Popper's Penguins.
You're naming all these bad movies. Huh? You want to name 23 too?
All right, fine. I'll name his good movies. The Mask.
I like it. I don't think it's bad.
No, wait. So a Jim Carrey movie where he was like, what, in a simulation or something?
Yeah, The Truman Show. There you go.
The Truman Show.
You've never seen it?
I don't think I've seen it. I don't think I've seen a movie called The Truman Show. No.
Oh, you're missing out. Go watch it. Like straight up. Just if Dylan keeps this in, you go watch it.
Dude, man, I've been going through like a fucking renaissance of culture recently.
Like the last 30 minutes of The Truman Show is truly like it's just like if you're just walking by a TV place that's selling them and then you see The Truman Show, you're gonna walk in and be like, can I watch the rest of this movie with you?
Well, no, that's what I was gonna say. Like, isn't there actually a Truman Show, like a nighttime show that used to be called The Truman Show after like a guy named Truman's like retired? Am I misremembering it completely? I'm so confused.
I don't know. It's about a dude. They bought him as a baby and they just been putting him in like a dome and recording whatever he does.
Whoa, dude, that sounds weird as shit. I'm about it. That's like when Robin Williams did What Dreams May Come. You're like, oh, dude, another funny Robin Williams movie. And then you watch it and you're like, I'm dead inside.
This is where a Christian would usually go. Welcome to our movie podcast.
Welcome to the movie podcast. We're completely transitioning into, we're doing a bit of a pivot.
Yeah.
We're done with that nonsense. Just kidding.
I usually like to let other people talk and then I just chime in here and there. But since there's only two of us, this is very difficult.
Dude, I mean, I can talk for the both of us. Like,
you want? I'll give you 30 seconds. Go ahead.
So I'm going to give a synopsis of why I like each and every straw hat in this crew, and we will not be holding back, baby. This is the Spoilercast.
Wow. Oh yeah. We gotta say that off the top.
Oh right.
Spoilers. Last chance.
This was originally Jordy's idea, I think, right? But we both agree we're gonna have just this is gonna be a spoiler cast. We just talk about whatever the fuck we feel like. We finally finished Alabasta. Me and him are just gonna talk about some random shit, but we're gonna have spoilers for the whole series.
Mm-hmm. We could be dropping shit from like 803, dropping shit from 402, from like episode 3. You don't know.
That includes for anyone who's only watching dub or who's watching sub or who's reading the manga. There will be potentially manga spoilers. I have no fucking filter. and I will be going all in. This is the only place I have to give it off.
I'll give them 3 seconds because they still got to hit that pause button. All right.
Yeah, they still got to hit that pause button. All right, you hit that pause button.
Yeah. Come back in like 6 years when you're all caught up.
Come back in 6 years, dude. Most people who read this shit, though, I kid you not, they get done with it in like 6 months, which honestly is still like, those fuckers out here are like probably reading like 30 fucking chapters a day. So they're grinded.
Nah, not if they're Simi. Simi reads like 100 chapters a day.
Well, I mean, you and Simi are both fucking different breeds. I mean, you with the real anime and then Simi with chapters is like fucking crazy. Speaking of all this manga stuff, I don't even know where are you in current events. Actually, can I spoil you? Is that a problem?
That's fine. Like you don't know that the people that I talk to, they spoil it every day.
All right, well that's good.
So it's not a big problem. I know a lot of the gist. I know a lot of the things.
So like, do you even like you don't read? You only keep up with the anime every so often, but you just know all like the major points. So
I read everything after Dressrosa.
Okay, so you read the whole Cake Island arc then, right?
All right. Spoilers done. If you don't leave now, you're too bad. Because after the whole Sabo gets what's his face, Ace's fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, after he gets that fruit, and then we get the 40 episodes of Luffy running to go get Don Flamingo.
That's patented.
Another 30 episodes for them two fighting.
Yeah.
I didn't want to end any of that.
You know what I loved really about the Dressrosa arc versus like what we just got done with Alabasta? I actually find I can't wait till we get through to Dressrosa. Assuming we get there, I really hope we do.
I read that. I mean, I watched that entire arc because that was the last arc I watched completely, and it just really burned me out. And so I read the manga all the way up to the Big Mama stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think I stopped right in the part where Brooks like going toe to toe with her.
No, dude, we got the homie, the bony boy himself, being like, "Young lady, what kind of fool comes out here planning to die? What a fucking G. What a fucking man, himself. Dude. The Ice King, the Soul King." No, but that what's really funny about Dressrosa too, that I always like remembering is it's literally the longest arc in all of One Piece, and honestly is what triggers all of these memes about, pacing and fucking wasting your fucking time. The
Anyone
best part
who watches this shit, dude. No one like goes, "That's a perfect arc right there. That's a good arc."
Just never forget it. All of the events, all of them take place in the span of a single afternoon. Whereas, like, everything that happened in Alabasta, like, since they, like, boarded the island and shit like that, was over the course of, like, a week or something at least. Because they've had to, like, cross the desert and come back and do all the shit. And meanwhile, we have fucking Dressrosa, where literally they just kind of, like, they show up. They're like, yeah, I'm going to go into this tournament. And then shenanigans happen in the background. They take on Doflamingo, and they eventually win. And you would think, wow, that doesn't sound like it would take that long. But what the anime does with it, dude, and what Oda did with that. I can't wait till we see Bellamy in the upcoming like fucking Skypiea thing, and then we get to see him be a jackass again. That's gonna be fun.
But the fact that they had that guy bouncing back and forth for like 20 episodes.
The manga, I remember there was like 2 or 3 chapters of him doing that with Luffy, where he was just like, the fucking wall in front of Luffy, bouncing around like like the springy boy that he is, and I'm just like,
the worst part is he did that for 20 episodes, and then he gets knocked down in like a few hits.
It's the same thing as when it was on Skypiea, dude. There's like one big difference.
He was like, "I am stronger. I am new. This is new me." A better me, and still gets
but then Luffy just goes like, "Bruh, do you have any idea how much better I am than I was back
Luffy
then?"
goes, "I'm trying to fight your boss, not you."
Right. I mean, like he's frustrated about it because him and Bellamy are tight at that point. Like he respects that Bellamy was like, he was just defending his homie or whatever.
I really enjoy that part where he's now like, I was a very angry person for a while, and I've learned to forgive.
Yeah, I was kind of a fucker, and I'm probably still batting for the wrong team, but you know what? I respect this guy, and I got to stick to that moral, all right? I ain't gonna run away. I ain't gonna be a punk bitch. I respect that. Thank you, Bellamy. No, but I will say the tournament arc did provide like one decent thing. Well, other than the Sabo, bringing Sabo's character back in and giving everyone a reason for the meta or the flame to go to somebody we like. Yeah, that was hype as fuck. Obviously, I mean, it was a little bit. I don't want to say conceited, but it was fairly obvious that they were going to do something.
It could have been a little bit more hype. We could have had a bigger moment.
Yeah, I mean, it was still a lot of fun, like, seeing him come up, but, you know, after, like, when the events of, like, Ace's death happened or whatever in the war, and then they made it clear that there was not one, but two brothers of Luffy, it was like, that kid's coming back in the story one of these days. He's coming back.
It's the patented he-I.
He-I. He's
no,
always
no body,
I.
no death.
But the one thing that I did like about that tournament arc was that at least, you know, with all those random ass characters that they had, they were able to, like, you know, introduce the future Straw Hat Alliance or whatever the fuck they called it at the end of Dressrosa, when they were all like, you know, we all got turned into toys until your god literally saved us. We're gonna work for you now, no matter what.
You know how many, like, how much I giggle every time we mention the god that is Usopp. And these two think we're, like, just memeing it, like, he's a god. Yeah. Dude. And I'm like, no, it's literally God Usopp.
I cannot wait until the dub gets to that scene. I gotta know what they're gonna do with it, because that whole scene is supposed to be a play on words in, like, Japanese, where he's, like, trying to say, like, put me down, you fucking idiots, but all they hear are consonants that sound like I am God in that order. It's a whole fucking thing. I can't wait until they get there in the dub. I want to know what kind of creative shit they come up with to try to decipher that shit. It's so fucking good, dude.
I feel like Dressrosa is just like it. I think my main problem is that there's just so much story in there that it was just dragged out, but there was a good story. Like, Luffy gets an armada, like, he straight up gets, like, 1 billion people coming at, like, just following him.
No, dude, I mean, it absolutely moved forward, like, their plot. And I mean, you know, I'm happy to see the series get moved in plot, but I remember, like, pretty much Punk Hazard was about the last, like, big mystery location that, you know, the Straws were going to be going to in their journey. Like, once Law got thrown into the mix and he was like, so I'm a competent dude in this storyline, and I'm going to tell you guys how we're going to beat the fucking Emperors of the Sea. And, you know, I'm torn on that, because on one hand, now I'm going to have somebody who knows what he's doing directing my favorite characters around.
How dare you do this?
How fucking dare you do this to me? I love the stupidness of these goddamn morons and how they just magically find a way to victory or whatever. And then on the other hand, I've got, you know, now I'm losing all of that fun, all of that mystery. Because after Punk Hazard, it was literally just like Law was like, all right, so here's the plan. We're going to fuck with Caesar. Then by extension, we're going to fuck with Doflamingo. And then, you know, on happenstance, they were like, yeah, we'll fuck with Doflamingo. But then they get there and they're like, let's fuck Doflamingo while we're here.
The events that Punk Hazard and that entire little bit was just like a little side quest, a preamble to Dressrosa, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And then by the end of that, we learned not only that Law is somehow related to Flamingo, not in, like, direct sense, but
yeah, for sure.
Is his backstory with what's his name?
Rosinante.
Is that, what was the other name? They had another name for him.
I only know it as Rosinante Doflamingo.
No, they had like a nickname for him.
No, he was the original Hearts, because they all have, like, a thing in Doflamingo's crew. There's, like, the Spade guy, the King guy, the Club guy. His brother
Corazon. There we go.
Corazon. Oh, yeah. No, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Corazon.
And then we learned the evolution of the devil fruits.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. We got to learn from that they can, like, they just, like, appear inside of fucking fruits and shit like that.
Not even that. I'm talking about the essence, the aura that they get after they've mastered their devil fruit powers.
Oh, like, you mean the awakenings and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, the awakenings. That's when you lose me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they have something interesting to, I guess, add a little bit more mystery to power scaling in this universe. But, you know, I'm going to say this. I remember you told me on the last episode, you were like, wait, this guy likes the power scaling. He thinks it's not outrageous.
Yeah, that's why I was leading to.
I'm going to stop you, all right? This is where I'm at. If we were fucking Naruto, if we were fucking Bleach, if we were fucking insert generic shonen anime here, by now, these motherfuckers would literally not only be gods, they'd be able to, like, jump through time or fucking dimensions and shit.
You mean by now we're doing the review, or by now as it were the anime is completely?
Like where they are in the story, like just pure, you know, where they are in their little universe at the end of the story. Like, because I mean, let's look at fucking
Do you not
Naruto.
see them as gods?
I mean, they're definitely strong as shit, but I mean,
come on, he's straight up fighting the 4 emperors. You
okay,
gotta like
time. But you literally have like Naruto shit where Madara or whoever the like what random ass lady is who can like tear the dimensions in 2 or shit like that.
All right,
same thing with
I get what the scale of which the power goes.
And
is
then
beyond.
you have literally Dragon Ball Super, which took Dragon Ball Z, where they were basically gods who could jump anywhere they wanted, and now they're fighting universes around. No,
you can't compare you can't compare those powers to Dragon Ball, dude. Like the Dragon Ball's in another level beyond the rest of the
But
big
all I'm saying is, okay, are the powers like? Do they always
I'm talking
find
about
a
the power
way?
scaling within the universe rather than like comparing it to a different show.
The only time I felt like that the power scaling in the universe got a little whack was with the Stampede movie that we saw. The guy who was the villain in that movie was a little whack. I'll give it that. That guy was a little excessive.
Luckily, it wasn't canon. Also, unfortunately, because there was a lot of cool things in there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know. I always forget like how to describe the movies because like Stampede, Gold, and I think the Z and I think Strong World. Maybe not Strong World. That one might not be on the list, but Z
Strong
for sure.
World was the one with the floaty dude, right? The gold.
Yeah, with
I think that was type canon because they had like a lot of Garp and
they had some preamble episodes with Sengoku, right? Sengoku,
I
think
believe.
his name.
I'll call him the Afro dude.
The Afro dude. R.I.P. both English and Japanese. Oh, and if we have any like German or Brazilian or Portuguese listeners, first of all, power to you. Don't know why, but power to you.
Yeah, they like it.
Yeah, they like you like what you like. I know the German one's really popular. I don't know much about the German cast or the French cast or the Portuguese cast. I think those are the 3 biggest ones for One Piece. I think they haven't done I don't think they've done a Spanish one in a really long time. But what were we talking about? Oh yeah. So Strong World, Z, and Gold and Stampede are like a weird spot, I think, of being like canon but not canon. Like the movies themselves aren't canon, but like.
And they say it's not canon, but I really think I can't not view it as canon. Some of the things that happen in those movies.
Dude, Stampede was such a banger when like all of the fucking plot lines were coming together, and you got to see all of
a big brawl, though. That was a big brawl. I'm not even talking about that part. I'm talking about the part where Roger had a dude on his crew that was this strong.
Yeah,
and,
Bullet.
And he had Bullet, and that he knew where the One Piece is because he was with him.
But let's be real here. The grossest that power scaling ever seems to get in this universe is they can like destroy islands. And even then, I think the most broken thing we've seen is Law cutting that island in half. Whoa, wait.
Remember the scene in Punk Hazard?
He cut the island in half? I remember the boat.
No, remember when he cut what's his face, that dude who can turn his entire body into armament hockey?
Oh, you're talking about you're talking about Vertigo.
Yeah, when he slices that dude and you think, "Oh, he just sliced him." And then they zoom out a bit. And then they slice the factory, and you're like, "Oh, that's pretty neat." And then he zooms out again, and it's the entire island.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay. Well, it's okay. You say the island, but he like cut like a mountain in the distance and shit. I mean, like, come on, he didn't cut.
It's pretty big,
like the whole island. I'm not saying you're wrong, but then we get Zoro out here who literally cuts an entire fucking plateau in half. That is a giant man. His name is fucking I forget.
Yeah.
Whatever that laughing dude's boy name was.
The squeaky voice man in Dressrosa, right?
Yeah. I forget what his name was. Oh, Pell, something P, I think. Not Pell, but
Pika?
Pika.
Might be.
I think it's Pika. Oh, I want to say
Maybe.
it's Pika.
We don't know the names, but there's too many characters. Sorry if we don't remember any.
Dude, I got this. No, don't worry. I remember everybody. Except for Rosinante. Apparently, I fucked that. Rosinante, I just remembered was the he was the guy who looked like the Aerosmith singer on Doflamingo's crew. That's Rosinante. You were right. Corazon was Doflamingo's brother.
We should probably get on track somewhere in here. We're kind of jumping all over the place.
Where are we going? Oh, I remember I asked you. So where? Okay, so other than Dressrosa, what do you know? Other than I know you said that you went to the place with the tree. So you've been to Zoe then.
I know everything about the Zoe Island. They left that. I know everything about the Big Mama stuff and Sanji's backstory.
Yeah,
which is wow.
Do you like the Sanji backstory? I'm curious.
What do you mean, like, as in, do I enjoy watching him suffer, or do I enjoy the story in general?
I mean, in general, like, do you appreciate the expansion of his character as a whole?
It's really good.
Yeah, I loved the Sanji expansion. I was a big fan.
It's unfortunate that I didn't enjoy the adaptation of what they did in the show.
Yeah, I didn't watch a lot of the Whole Cake anime episodically. I only watched some of the fun stuff like Luffy versus Katakuri, and even then I watched a lot of fan edits where they cut out some fluff on the fucking subreddit and shit. I watched good old Brooke versus Big Mom.
Because when I read the manga for anything, I can no longer really enjoy the show because I know the story. So I'm just I'm only there to watch the scenes. And if the scenes aren't really done well, you kind of see all the flaws and the non-movement that usually is and things. The things you usually ignore because you're trying to keep up with the story.
I'm a little worried that I'm going to be like that one day too, but because right now I'm kind of at the point where I haven't watched all of Whole Cake Island episodically. I've watched everything episodically through Zoe. And I started doing Whole Cake for a hot minute, but then I kind of fell off the train. Haven't watched anything other than the sweet fucking scenes in Wano. And I've heard that for the most part, Wano's doing really good. I've heard a lot of really good things about Wano.
I saw the first episode where they changed the art style because
dude, the new art style is fire though.
Because Ryan, you know Ryan.
Yeah.
He out of all people, the one guy who skipped Skypiea, don't
at this boy.
He's a very casual watcher. He just watches 30 episode chunks here and there.
Yeah.
He showed me that episode and I was like, wait, what is this? Is this a movie? Is this a special? He's like, no, this is the new arc. They changed the art. I was like, whoa. Because this is the episode where I believe Zoro walks up to that place and almost commits seppuku.
Yeah, no. What he does is he was told he had to commit seppuku because they captured him because they found the sword that he gets. I'm blanking on the name. The black blade that he gets from the spirit of the warrior dude from Thriller Bark or whatever. They get it and they're like, this is a national treasure. You're not allowed to have this. And then the samurai dude who's clearly just wants to pocket it is like, you must commit seppuku. And then Zoro's like, yes, I see. And
then he watches them all.
He just watches them all with the dagger, with the seppuku knife. What a fucking goon, dude.
It's a big Mihawk scene right there. You get all these swords, I got this little dagger. I'll beat every one of you.
Dude, could you imagine if Zoro saw himself do that from back in the Baratier arc? Or you'd just be like, oh my god, I become a legend.
I've become a god.
I've become a god.
So you haven't seen the anime past what point?
Pretty much, I haven't watched episodically. I really didn't even watch episodically in Whole Cake, I'll be honest. I mean, I watched a lot of Whole Cake, I ain't gonna lie. Because that was right around the time where I remember the anime just got to Gear 4th Luffy. And I was very unhappy with the idea that I was going to have to wait 20 episodes to finally beat fucking Doflamingo. I saw that writing on the wall, right? I saw that writing on the wall. So I think right after they showed Gear 4 Luffy on the anime, or maybe it was in preparation of Gear 4. I saw the preview of it and they were like, Gear 4th. And then I was like, there's a 4th? Yeah,
the first time they showed them wasn't in it. Wait. Well, oh yeah, no, it was Doflamingo, right? Oh, I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of the scene where he's fighting the big trees.
You mean back in Whole Cake?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's tank mode and shit like that. That's a whole other thing. Yeah, that's when he just eats a fuckload of the biscuits and then he becomes Tank Man because he's a fat fuck.
Oh my god. Yeah.
What a legend. No, but I remember he was I think I saw the preview for Gear 4 and I was so fucking curious. I'm like, there's a 4th? Hell yeah, dude. I wanted to know so bad what it looked like, so I was like, maybe just a quick peek in the manga. Just a quick peek. And then
you couldn't stop reading?
Little did I know. Yeah, I read, I think it didn't even have all the way through Zoe at the time. I think it had the end of Dressrosa and then a couple of chapters into Zoe. And that was when I started reading episodically, and I've been fucking reading it every week ever since.
This is how it went down. You said, oh, let me look at it. Huh? I'm caught up? What?
Just like that? Wait, what do you mean? How is that possible?
I've read 40 chapters.
I remember too, dude, because I was it's Zoe. I think I officially was episodic when Sanji and Co arrived, and all the minks were like, "Yeah, we just got done with a war. We're all fucking dying and poisoned." And then Sanji's yelling at Caesar or something. "You fucking idiot! Shut the hell up, Chopper! Save these people, please!" And Chopper's like, "You know, I ask me twice, fam." And then they were doing that whole thing And I remember when I had so many feels when Raizo ended up being alive the whole time, and I saw the big panel of them being like, dude, he's here, he's alive, and they're all like, what, you all died for this, and he was fucking here the whole time? I was pretty much hooked at that point. I remember it was like within like 5 weeks of me like being episodic, and I was like, I think I might put this back down and wait for the anime to catch up or whatever, get back on the train. But then I remember I read that chapter where they all go, Raizo is safe, and the amount of emotions I felt on that fucking chapter, that was huge for me.
They've been fighting back and forth for like years, and then the goons come in, and then they continue to fight, and everything's like going chaotic. And as soon as the samurais come in, everybody goes, hold up, truce, and then they like bow to him. Dude, I loved that chapter. That one really did. That one comes out of nowhere. Like they just like go up to him and go, "We've been waiting for you for over 40 generations or whatever."
I know, right? I remember like the Straw Hats were all like, "Oh, dude, we gotta make sure these guys don't come up here because they might cause like massive panic or massive anger and shit like that." And then I was like flabbergasted. It was such a good little bit that they did with that narrative, and I pretty much that was the chapter where I was like, I think I might keep reading this. I don't know. I'm gonna keep up on this.
I think the anime can wait a bit.
I'll just watch the anime later. No, and now I'm at the point where I'm probably just going to wait for the dub to slowly catch up. I'll be on that train till I die. They're finally on Punk Hazard. Fucking my boys. They're getting there. One day they'll be on Dressrosa, which, I'm kind of not excited about because they're probably not going to want to go through that arc nearly as much as I'm going to want to
so
watch it.
Let's actually talk about the arcs I don't think we might enjoy. I think Dressrosa would be one.
The best part about Dressrosa is that it sets up for a lot of endgame stuff, and I actually really liked the toy thing. The toy thing was like really fucking creative to me. Like to have somebody on the team where that could like make you turn into a toy or whatever, and then like you're just completely forgotten out of their life. That is terrifying.
That is but I think the best part about that is that you get preserved. So eventually, no matter what, you will come back. Because the little girl can't be young forever. But there's things behind that, right? There's like theories out there that present themselves that some of these characters stay young forever.
Yeah, I think I know that what's her name of the supernovas. Fucking everyone wants to know about that bitch.
The chick who was always eating.
Yeah, you might not even know. So she's like has like a very personal relationship with Kuma somehow. We're not actually sure how.
Yeah, I've read theories that she's like being used or something, or she has the knowledge of preserving people's life expectancy. And that's the reason why some of these other characters have been around for like generations.
Dude, facts. We got Kureha out. Well, you know what my theory is about Kureha, though? I think that she has been given the eternal life surgery from whoever the previous owner of that heart fruit was, or whatever the fuck it's called, or the what do you call it, the op fruit.
Is that the one Law has?
Yeah, that's Law's fruit. It actually, when I first, it's OPOP in both English and Japanese, and it's just op as in like operation, so op makes sense.
The fact that he can use that to teleport himself around.
that fruit is so fucking broken. I love it, but I hate it, dude.
Like the Oda chooses when he's tired and when he's not tired. Like, I need him to get out of here. All right, quick teleport. And then like a little line, oh, that's so exhausting. I can't keep doing that. And then he does it again.
And then he just does it again. It's so good, though.
Yeah, there's that thing. I think another arc that they really wouldn't vibe with is probably the fish island.
I think you're right. Fish Island and Dressrosa are probably the hardest arcs to get through. I mean, Fishman Island, specifically in the manga, it really wasn't that bad, but oh my god, they padded the shit out of it, and then the animation takes a huge downturn in a lot of places. I mean, the return to Sabaody was super hype, and that was super fun, but it was mostly because they actually had decent pacing and they didn't like nix on their animation like right out the gate. But going into Fishman Island, there are some pieces that are good. But for the most, I remember there's like all these scenes where like Zoro looks like he's like a fucking stick man with just a bunch of fucking like abs or some shit like that. There's another scene where the villain Horty has like horrible proportions.
I'm not really mad about the like those things, like when they have to not draw the entire character if they're like small enough.
Yeah.
You've seen screenshots, right? Like Luffy's like a tiny little stick in like a faraway shot.
True. Yeah. No, I know
I'm
what you
fine
mean.
with those scenes. What I don't really like is when they pad for time when they don't need to pad for time during fights. Like the big hype scene in that whole arc is Luffy taking down like the 300,000 men, which is hype as hell. But then it's preceded by like a really drawn out war, which I didn't think needed to be war. It was more of a showcase of all their powers.
What they did there was, because that whole thing was supposed to be like a 3-second stint where Luffy literally just shows up, uses his Conqueror's Haki, and then half of them are on the ground, and then everyone's like, "Oh, well, he better be that fucking good. Otherwise, I'd have to be captain, wouldn't I?" But like the way the anime did it was they had the whole fucking experience last like 10 minutes of one episode. Then like preceding the episode, they recapped it by about 5 minutes. Then they continued to refer to it. And then they just did like a stare down for another 10, 15 minutes. And it's just like, oh my God, dude, just move on with our lives, please.
Yeah, so that's the problem when you read the manga, like that all that stuff is amplified by like 50 because you're like, I already know what's gonna happen. Please just make it happen. I don't want to see Luffy's screaming for like 10 minutes and then what's his face Hody taking another set of pills.
You know, I've actually been rewatching Punk Hazard again, obviously, since the dub has finally made its way there. And I've actually been kind of surprised. The pacing isn't horrible, but there's a couple of weird one-off fillers that are coming in and out, I think, from in time, but I can't remember if it's actually filler or not. So I'm just kind of rolling with it. But Whole Cake Island and Dressrosa particularly, they do not know how to set up tone or set up a good cadence for the whole Point series. Because I think Dressrosa, for example, I think they get to a point where it's like 2 episodes per chapter at its worst, which is just absolutely ridiculous. That is nonsense.
It's hard to take in. But
how do you do it?
It is very difficult to watch.
But what I do think they're gonna like is I think that Christian's gonna love the shit out of Thriller Bark. I just have a good feeling when we meet the spooky boy. When the spooky boy comes in here, I think Christian's gonna be all over it, and I don't want to hold my breath, but I do think that Devin is actually really going to like Water 7.
I think he's gonna really enjoy the character of Frankie.
I know he's gonna love Frankie. There's no way
you don't enjoy Frankie.
There's no way someone like Devin doesn't like Frankie.
He's the one guy who brings in the mechs and the technology.
That's why I was like, I was talking with Justin about it. When Devin was talking about his like how the poneglyphs are just going to be Gundams and shit like that. Justin and I were talking. He's like, what's really funny about this is that I don't know how to tell you about Frankie, who literally makes a Gundam for the Straw Hats, which there's like big theories.
It's not going to be the first time we see a mech though. There is a movie that comes way before then that features a mech.
Which movie has a mech in it? I actually don't remember.
It's the 7th movie, so like 3 movies from now.
Okay, 3 movies from now. Gotcha. I've seen all the movies, but most of them are like, eh. They're like they go right over my head.
It's called Giant Mecha Soldier.
Oh my God! Of course it is. Just Giant Mecha Soldier. But in addition to Frankie, I would guess that Devin's gonna. I think when we finally do get to the war and Impel Down, I know for a fact that he's going to appreciate the parallels with Hell, because I at one point I remember he was like super into God of War and he was super into Dante's Inferno. So I'm really hoping that he'll appreciate the little nods to the Inferno. Here's like literally every level of Hell. It's basically just Dante.
Especially the revisiting of all the villains.
Yeah,
There's
dude.
a lot of villains in that whole little Impel Down bit.
Once we get to like the time skip, we'll finally be able to like kind of have a lot more like freedom to like make beams, because at that point they'll know all the major jokes, all the big ones where Buggy's gonna be the fucking future king of the pirates, and where fucking Usopp's a god. Well, I guess Dressrosa is when Usopp becomes a true god.
Any other characters that they might enjoy?
Well, they got Robin. We need to talk about Frankie. We need to talk about Brooke.
They don't really have Robin though. Like we don't really have Robin.
They don't have Robin, but I know that when we get through Water 7, I know for a fact that Devin's going to be like, well, this is a little bit of a different turn than I was expecting for this sort of character.
Yeah, let's actually talk about that. Robin, dude, who do you think has the saddest backstory?
Personally, I would say if we know everyone, I would say Robin.
Well, before you answer that, I'd like you to know that we still don't know where Zora came from.
This is 100% facts.
They've already established that they're like Oda's not afraid of going beyond what we already know. Like even before Sanji was like a cook on the ship, he built that out and he expanded upon it. We still don't know where Zora came from.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. I mean, knowing that, I don't want to have Zoro on the list because we just don't know. But I would say that the saddest one is Robin. However, I feel like the one that would suck the most, like if you were them, I think the one that would suck the most is Brooke by a mile. By a mile.
Yeah, Brooke's thing is it hurts a bit more because it's more of a longevity.
Because it's like I feel like Brooke had the opportunity to at least like experience a full life before he had to submit himself to all of this trauma. But just like imagine for a sec, you literally just wander for 40 fucking years looking for your body as a ghost, and then you finally find it, you merge with it, and then some new fuck steals your shadow, you can no longer see the daylight, and you're stranded in the water for like another 4 fucking years or whatever the hell it was. What a shit show. Coming off the tail end, mind you, of having to come to terms with the fact that he was gonna die alongside all of his friends and never see Laboon again. Oh,
watching his crews die, dude, being the last one singing on that ship, that must have hurt.
Dude, absolutely.
That whole scene, that entire, like that song itself, when he starts playing it after the arc ends and Luffy's like, hey, you want to join my crew? That like he starts playing the song. Like there's no way you can now like to just start bawling and going, Jesus.
I bawl every time, dude. Every time.
But then, dude, I can't decide really like who has this. Like even though I posed the question, like it's a very hard question to answer.
I mean, I feel like the only reason I would say Robin is the saddest is because like she's been basically just fucking fighting nonstop since like the day she finally left the island, right? Fighting to survive, fighting to make friends or allies, I guess, fighting to evade the government.
Yeah.
And she has not had a single respite.
They even showed bits of her like almost finding like a home until the people find out who she is. And then they turn on her. And it's just like a very heartfelt moment when she's just basically learning like she can't trust anybody. It's just impossible.
Like she's had to cope with so much stress and anxiety over like, cause she's like 30 something years old, I think, or something like that. So she's had to cope with all of that stress and anxiety at like a nonstop pace for well over a couple of decades. But but Brooke, you know, even though that's a horrible thing to happen to him, at least he was like kind of chilling.
He lived a life, like he lived a full life, and even then he's getting a second chance.
Right. So it's kind of hard to think that his is but I still think that his is the most stressful overall. I wouldn't want to do his. I would rather do Robin's than do his, I think. But I think hers is still sadder. Does that make sense?
No. Yeah, it makes sense. I feel like Luffy, as weird as it sounds, Luffy has the least saddest one.
I don't think that's weird at all. I would agree that he has
like tragic moments that happen. The Sabo thing, the Ace bit later on, but even that's not really a backstory. That's more of a
No, that's just a character progression. So I feel like that's just it. Like what's most important about Luffy's backstory is that, you know, he came to this decision, you know, from his experiences with Shanks, and there really wasn't a whole lot of trauma other than obviously, you know, fucking nearly dying from whatever the fuck the pirate blew something. I forget what his fucking name was. And one of his cronies back on what was that fucking island or that fucking area called in that island? I know it was like something Kingdom, and it was like Gray Terminal. I remember now. So when he was in Gray Terminal, I like nearly died. That's harsh. I'm not gonna say it's not, but you know, it's not.
Yeah, compared to some of these other guys, like Chopper being exiled from both sides of the world,
right?
That
like
he knows.
You've got Nami, you've got Chopper, you've got Sanji, you've got fucking Brooke, Frankie. Like all of them have had like. They've been forced to live with like horrible baggage for their entire lives.
Yeah.
Whereas the hardest thing Luffy's had to deal with is the fact that one time that red-haired guy saved his life and he was like, I'm going to be a pirate now, I think. I feel like what makes Luffy such an interesting and gravitating character, especially after we get to the time skip, is that you get that backstory kind of in full circle And after Ace's death, I mean, I find that as a very powerful moment in the series for not just Luffy, but for the anime as a whole. And I think that it kind of helps to ground Luffy to the same level and even playing field as his cohort, so to speak.
Right, but now you have to like compare that to Sanji, who was literally raised in a cage.
No, Sanji was way low on the scale until Sanji's backstory came in, and Sanji is easily just below Brook and Robin. Easily. Yeah. Like, he is not far.
I would have really bumped up his sadness.
They were like, you know what? You see, you blonde boy? I've got an idea for you. I'm going to make you 3 times as sad. And then it's like, God. You know, what was really funny about Whole Cake Island, too, is I used to love hearing in the subreddit that, you know, only Oda could make an anime where we have Nazi Power Rangers fighting a giant witch lady inspired by Hansel and Gretel in fucking Candyland Willy Wonka setting. Only this man. Only this man. Fucking ridiculous.
No one can say this show isn't creative. No one can say the story isn't creative.
It's absolutely creative. And then I loved like all these like little subtle nods to like fun things, like when Luffy and Katakuri were fighting, it was literally a mirror matchup and they fought in a mirror world. I love dumb shit like that.
What arcs do you think that they're gonna really enjoy the best? You said Christian would enjoy Thriller, and we said Water 7 was good for Devin.
Yeah, I've got a good feeling about Water 7 for Devin. I hope.
I think the first time we see the Conqueror's Haki is gonna be like a huge moment too.
Well, that's gonna be. I feel like that's gonna be where we're gonna split. There's gonna be a schism in the team at that point because
someone's not gonna enjoy it.
When we get to Haki, when we get to Haki, I want to know. I think Devin. I'm determined to think that Devin's actually going to vibe with it because he's already starting to put the pieces together. He's already kind of figured out that there's going to have to be like increased power scaling in order to have like anyone, you know, be able to compare to some devil fruit people and whatnot.
It's fun realizing how far back a lot of these roots were placed. Like, I didn't like the crocodile bit with the aura around his moves. I straight up did not notice that until he pointed it out.
Yeah, dude, that was one of my favorite throwbacks.
Yeah, I just thought it was like a nice little effect on his powers, but then I saw it, like, actually looked at it, and I said, wait a minute, there is an aura there.
Yeah. This man's literally just using his awakened devil fruit. The only thing that I always kind of go back to with the Alabasta arc is like, if Crocodile is so good with his fruit that he knows that he's already awakened it, what I want to know is how the fuck is this guy so surprised when Luffy punches him, like, ever? Like, I know at first he's like, oh, you have water, well, that makes sense, but I remember like when he used his blood, he's like calculating, he's like, how the fuck did he hit me? I want to imagine that he would be like, oh fuck, did he figure out how to do the thing? Can he use the thing now?
I mean, now he'd get washed 100%. He'd get it washed.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
But I think his real drawback was that he was overconfident.
Yeah, I guess that was fair.
Probably it. And by the time he noticed it, he was already half beat to death.
Fucking idiot. That's what you get for being a fucking loser. No, actually, and I remember, Crocodile's actually the first one to mention awakens anything, because when they're in Impel Down, I love going back to this. So the awakening in Dressrosa from Doflamingo, he explains it. Like, he's like, yeah, awakens like a thing you can do with your devil fruit. But Crocodile, like, on an offhanded comment, super fucking throwaway, when they're in Impel Down, do you remember the monster goons? There was like a koala, a zebra, I think like a rhino, and a cow. Okay, so those fuckers. Crocodile mentions on an offhanded comment that they're awakened Zoan types. And they literally never like acknowledge it or report back to it, but he just like, yeah, they're awakened Zoans. And then it like cuts to like a different scene. And I'm like, bruh, you just wait, what awakened Zoans? Expand on that. How do you know they're awakened Zoans? What are awakened Zoans, my friends? But that's like, so I always talked about this with Simi. One of my favorite theories too is that now that we know awakened Zoans, at least what 4 awakened Zoans look like when they're like, big beefy animal versions of themselves, and we know what a Paramecia and what a Logia awakened looks like. I always liked the theory where Chopper's monster point is his awakened version of his fruit, and the only reason he can manifest it without training is specifically because he's made his Rumble Ball or whatever in order to tap into it. That is my personal headcanon, and I base that off of nothing. But I just wanted to talk about it. Damn it.
It works. So We've talked about you and I have talked about this for years now. Which arc do you enjoy the most?
Dude, I mean, it's the best arc in the series has got to be the Water 7 fucking Ennie's Lobby arc.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this.
It might be too early to say it, but it's straight up peak. It's the peak.
It is the peak. I mean, I'm going to say this. The first arc I saw where I started caring was actually Skypiea. And honestly, I'm not even lying to you. The only reason I cared when I started watching in Skypiea, I mentioned this on another cast. Once upon a time, fucking years ago, I was like, yeah, I remember One Piece. Yeah, that was like that shitty anime that was on Toonami once upon a time. And I was like, maybe I'll pick it back up or something after all this time. And I started flipping through. I'm like, I remember this. And I just like stopped partway through Skypiea and was like, good enough. But I remember I was gravitated when I figured out like who the villain was, Eneru in the English dub and the Viz translation, but Enel in the sub. When I figured out that he was the Lightning Man and that Luffy was the Rubber Man, I was just playing a game of fucking time. I was just waiting for the fucking moment when they finally caught up, and then all of this fucking cockiness from Eneru was gonna be wasted on Luffy when he tried to hurt him, and Luffy would be like, dude, that doesn't do anything. I was waiting for fucking hours. I watched like so many episodes in a row, and I finally got to it, and it did not disappoint. We had one of the most patented fucking Eneru faces. We got Luffy who's just like, what's up?
That tickled.
Everyone's just like, what the fuck is going on?
Dude, Eneru was such a broken character. If anybody else would have fought this man, they would have immediately lost.
Literally, if anybody else ever found this man in the sky, he would have been a god. He would have stayed a god.
Because they also had observation hockey, right?
Yeah, they had observation hockey.
As soon as someone who can be as random as Luffy comes by, he goes, wait a minute. Give me a minute here.
Such a good fucking gag, dude.
Because Luffy figures it out. He goes, if I don't know where to hit, that means you can't dodge it.
The stupid or the baka whatever the fuck it was. God damn it, Luffy. I mean, I'm not even gonna say that like the entire fight between Luffy and Eneru was like fantastic or anything, because there was a little bit of nonsense with like chasing him up Giant Jack or whatever with the golden thing on his arm. But I mean, I just remember when I picked it up and I finally put two and two together. Like, wait a minute, this is an electricity man versus a rubber man. When these two fucking collide, it's gonna be hilarious. And sure as shit, when they do finally collide, one of the funniest fucking moments of the entire thing, that cemented my... I wanted to see more from the show at that point. So then I finished Skypiea, and then I was like, I'm gonna rewatch the whole fucking thing, and I've been watching shit ever since. Fan-fucking-tastic. But I'll be honest, I also don't think that Devin or Christian are going to care that much for the Skypiea arc. I think that...
Oh, why not, dude? This looks like one of the best arcs out there.
I love Skypiea, but it is an arc that a lot of people don't like.
Christian's going to love that backstory. There's no way.
I think that there's going to be one character in particular that's going to set Devin off, because there's going to be another one of those moments where it's like, oh, a guy died, but he doesn't really die. Kona's dad. I forget what his fucking name is. They do it a lot.
Like, at this point, I'm not surprised by it. Like, they even did it right at the beginning where, what's his face? Igaram dies, and we all knew he didn't die.
Yeah, we all knew he didn't die. I mean, that's fair.
Like, you see scenes like that, you go, all right, this is the type of show I'm watching. I'm going to set my expectations. So that's why I wasn't trying to make a big deal out of the Pell death.
Well, the Pell one also kind of got me a lot personally.
No, I agree. He should have died. Like 100%. That man should be dead.
I know. But I would be curious. I think that they're gonna like the bit between Eneru and Luffy when they do finally collide. I also think that they're gonna vibe with the setting in general. But
the scenes with them raising the ship into the sky, those are some of the best scenes out there. I thought, like, when I was first watching this, I thought like the reverse mountain going into the Grand Line was pretty good. And then you get the scene with them jumping into Sky Island. It's like a million times better.
Dude, facts, man. And like, there's like all of this like crazy, because like the sky's the limit pun intended. The sky's the limit when you go into the clouds and you see a cloud realm, because like you can either do it like a Miyazaki thing where you have like Castle in the Sky and you see like a lost civilization, or well, I mean they still ended up doing a lost civilization, but or you can just be like full on fucking Mario and Luigi where you just have like cloud people and like cloud cities and shit like that. I love that shit.
The bits where Nami and Usopp are just straight up going, I don't want to be here no more. Take me back to my homeland.
I think we need to go back. We need to go back. This is bad.
I don't want to do this anymore. I don't know.
and then you remember they're literally in the fucking sky. How do they get back? Fucking idiots. But so we got Water 7. Then after Water 7's Thriller Bark. After Thriller Bark, Saba Odi. I'm really looking forward to Saba Odi with the crew.
That's a really good one, because that's the first time we see someone actually go toe-to-toe with a Logia type. Seeing those scenes for the first time where someone's actually punching light, like straight up a light guy, you go, how's he doing this? Tell me. And then they don't really reveal it until they start talking about hockey, and then you go, oh, Jesus, there's a whole other world out there.
What's obnoxious is like they What do they got? They got Kizaru that they introduced right before Water 7 as the first Logia type that Luffy literally just can't do anything against. Well, okay, maybe not the first. I guess Smoker's technically the first, but I would say that what makes Kizaru different, or not Kizaru, Aki, what the fuck is his name? Aokiji. Sorry about that. The Iceman himself. Aokiji as the first Logia type that Luffy can't really do shit against. Because, I mean, you know, what sucks about it is that no matter what you do, he's just gonna turn to ice and then grow himself back. You know, I think that's what makes Smoker, you know, menacing for Luffy at that point in the story, is that like we know he can't really hit him because he just turns himself into smoke. But it never gets like ingrained into the audience, because all we ever do is run from him. But with Aokiji, when that scene comes through, he's like he's captured Robin. He's basically said like, I'm gonna fucking destroy this bitch, and Luffy's got to try to fight him. He's got to figure something out. There is no running option here. And they even still kind of run away at the end, or at least like he lets him get away. And you wonder to yourself, how the fuck are we ever going to beat up someone like Aokiji? and then you see this old ass dude, Rayleigh, going toe to toe with these fools. Dude, you see Rayleigh come out and literally kick the light man fucking Kizaru out of nowhere.
Guy in this series, because he's like he wears his shorts. He wears like this Hawaiian shirt. He's just big, chill, a dude. But he said, like, if you give him a reason, he will eat you up. Like, he will kick you out of here.
Absolutely, dude. He's such a fucking G.
He goes from 0 to 100 in a split of a second.
No, you know, there's even still like throwbacks even in Wano now. So Luffy actually just recently learned there's like an additional form of armament hockey. You heard about the part where he like can like see part of the future now with his observation hockey now, thanks to that.
I kind of I'm iffy on that, but I'll take it. That's fine.
Yeah, that's like a whole thing. He can like see like, I don't know how long, like a minute or something into the future with his observation hockey or something now. And then, but with the armament hockey, there's an expanded thing. So there was like a big deal where I think both Big Mom and Kaido like were unable to be damaged like ever unless you had a certain form of hockey, which that you had to like, it's not just putting armament hockey on and then punching. It's also like infusing like the hockey into the blow so that it penetrates your target and like hurts him from the inside. So
I saw the scene where he breaks the neck brace.
Exactly. So it was the same thing basically as like when Rayleigh took the collars off of them back at the auction house or whatever. It's all the same shit, which I was like, that's good. We like that. It wasn't just, you know, breaking it with the armament hockey and throwing it.
I really love the comparison between Rayleigh and Usopp.
The comparison between Rayleigh and Usopp. I need an expansion on that one. He
straight up came from nothing. Like, he's just a normal guy, which is what Rayleigh was. Rayleigh was just a normal dude who ended up gaining all his power.
Who ended up just becoming one of the fucking strongest people in their entire universe because he's a G.
So that's why I relate that to Usopp so much, because Usopp's just a regular dude who's like slowly getting stronger. Although they don't really like do the same powers and like moves and stuff, but
no, I get that.
Usopp's getting up there. He's got a little trickles of observation hockey.
Dude, if anyone ever wants to ask me, who is my favorite Straw Hat for character progression, we're not there yet, but it's gonna be Usopp.
It's 100% Usopp. There's no other person.
300 million%. I fucking love that goof.
Usopp has the greatest character arc of all time. Although
Dude,
I don't really
absolutely.
I don't really mess too much with post time skip because I don't enjoy the way they just leave him on the back sometimes.
Well, and Frankie has that same problem, especially in post time skip. Frankie and Usopp, I feel like, get treated the most dirt out of all of them in post time skip. Frankie especially.
A lot of them do though. There's so much Luffy content. Like they sort of leave a lot of the Straw Hats in the back.
They've got so many fucking characters to bring to the front table and shit that it just gets hard. What do you think their opinion's going to be on Jinbei? Out of curiosity.
That could go either way, but I think they'll enjoy it because Devin really likes the whole karate vibe. He likes a guy who uses proper form, uses the Osu type things.
It's funny because when they were saying like Crocodile's going to join the crew, and I was like, it's not going to be Crocodile, but what if I told you a warlord does join? What if I told you and it's gonna be Hancock, baby? No, that's just his future fucking wife. That's all.
let's a little tangent here. The scene of her and Stampede running down and kicking the dude, probably one of the greatest scenes in One Piece, like hands down. And it's just her going, "Oh, you've damaged my guy. I will beat you now."
How fucking dare you touch my man? Just to give context to whoever cares, I was over in the place where Jordy and them all live, not to be disclosed.
Yeah, we don't live in the same spot, all right? We're travelers and nomads.
Yeah, we're nomads. We're never around in the same spot. We just so happen to be in the same spot one weekend. And I was like, dudes, the Stampede movie is going to be in theaters this weekend. I want to go fucking see it. Because I'm the hypest about all these things all the time. Yeah. And I brought Jordy and I brought Ryan with me. And we watched Stampede. It was really good. And I remember I was sitting next to Jordy when this fucking Hancock scene was going crazy. Music's going wild. Fucking animation's super smooth. And I could just literally hear Jordy over on the side going like, "My God."
It was. I was going, "Oh my God. This is brilliant.
This is fucking amazing."
Because we don't get that. We don't get that a lot. That entire movie was an action scene, but
dude, you're gonna love some of the bits that I've seen in Wano recently. Fucking, there's the 3 big ones that I did some research before the cast. I don't really care if I say the animators' names or not, but there's 3 big ones where Luffy's dueling against Kaido for a little bit. That's honestly over the course of 4 episodes that I realized. And well, it's over the course of 4 episodes, and they're all pretty fucking good and smooth. I was looking specifically for the one where he fucking punches him over the noggin on top, but I couldn't find it. And I saw one where you see Kaido breathing fire on the castle or something in the distance. Still good. And the other 2 specifically recently was the Zoro one that I think you have seen, the one with
because everyone and their mothers was posting that one when it came out.
That's some good shit. And then there's a Sanji one too that I have when he was fighting Page 1, whatever the fuck, however you pronounce that, and that was really fucking good. So I mean, Wano's popping off. I'm just saying Wano's popping off.
No,
right
I'm
now.
sure. I've seen art. We were talking about Jinbei. I think they'll enjoy Jinbei, but you know what they'll really enjoy, and this is another top moment for me is the whole koala backstory.
Oh yeah, the backstory of Sabo's friend Koala.
Yeah. That's probably if you had to put saddest character, she'd be up there.
So fun fact about that girl. What's so fucking funny is, so when I was watching Angel Beats, there was this really stupid thing that I did. I watched it probably 3 or 4 times, right? Before I finally realized that spoilers for Angel Beats, by the way. I watched it 3 or 4 fucking times. I shit you not. Just because I liked the music and the plot was fine. Before I finally realized that the reason why whatever her name is, the silver hair girl talks about thank you for loving me or giving me your heart or whatever to the guy was because when he died, his donator heart was literally the heart that saved her life the first time, and she went to heaven because she was so unsatisfied she never got to say sorry or thank you or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant. I love it.
It was their version of purgatory.
But I remember I watched it 3 or 4 times, and that was my friend James was like, dude, you just got that? How fucking slow are you? And I was like, bro, I don't know, but I'm sad again. And I remember when I saw Koala the first time, it never clicked. When I watched it the second time, never clicked. It didn't click until I watched Fishman Island in the dub recently being like two years ago, give or take, where I was like, oh my God, that's Koala, dude.
You are a whole fool, dude.
I know, man. It never clicked for me, ever. That it was like the same Koala or whatever. But oh my God, dude, yeah, she is clearly just a broken fucking child. That's going to be like the one shining spot out of Fishman Island, I think.
I'm
I really do hope
she isn't broken, dude. The character she grew up to be is way too spirited.
Well, I mean, hey, man, people deal with their demons in their own way, man.
No, I get that, but it's like if they would have never had that backstory and then showed me it later, I'd be like, oh my God, I need to hug this girl.
I need to hug this girl, man. No, between the Fishman Island arc, or between that and the Fishman Island arc, and then like, you know, the whole plot element of just like racism as a whole, and you know what they do with the celestial dragons, I really hope that will help to carry the weight of the unfortunate truth where the anime takes a bit of a dive during Fishman Island. It feels like it brought it back for Punk Hazard.
No, yeah, the story elements of the discrimination and the backstory of Jinbei and Arlong really brought that whole arc to like a really high point.
It's literally unskippable because of that. I mean, honestly, I would say, and I mean, this is why I mean, everyone always says that the manga's better, and these are the reasons why. It's because the plot and the story is very cohesive, and it does make you think when you care to think, I guess. And it's always palatable, like in a very easy and like kid-friendly way. But, you know, a lot of the times the anime just gets a hold of it and they're just like, let's just make this one element last 5,000 years or something so that we can pad for time.
It's a product of long-running shonen, and it.
Luckily, you know, the series as a whole still is constantly super fun. Wano's being super hype. Whole Cake Island, even though it was still kind of faulted, was still a lot of fun. I loved my bony boy getting his fucking days. My bony boy. That goddamn Brook, dude.
So what do you personally look forward to watching?
Just getting through Water 7, honestly. When they can finally see... No. I'm serious. The episode where Luffy and Usopp duel is like... It is, if it's not my number one favorite episode, it's only beaten by like maybe the episode where Zoro and Kuma decide that he's going to take all of Luffy's pain or something. Like, it's fucking up there for me. That changed everything I knew about Usopp as a throwaway comic relief character.
It really like, you watch that scene with Usopp and Luffy and then you go back to the beginning. It really gives Usopp a whole different view. Which is why I was trying to like tell you not to like defend him too much, because first time around you are not going to see Usopp as this character you think he is.
No, I know, right? And you know what? It always broke me as like I just loved the episode where they're like fighting, and you know, sub or dub, it doesn't matter. The camera work, the direction for that scene where they're in the Mary and they're just like arguing, and Luffy comes like, you know, this close to saying like, well, why don't you just get off the fucking ship, before Sanji like cuts him off or whatever. The way that they just like, I don't know, give the perspective from Usopp and they all look like they're fucking gods above him or whatever. And like the way that they're all like in this like very tight-knit area, and that they still managed to give you this sense of like distance between them. I don't know. There was just brilliant direction in those few episodes, and especially the fight between Luffy and Usopp. I've never personally had more of a what's the word? I've never felt more like Usopp than I ever have in those particular episodes, because he deals with the same kind of trauma and stress and anxiety that I think I deal with in real life. That's why he's my spirit animal.
Just constantly wanting to run away.
No, I mean, it's not running away. It's like, I remember I really vibed with the way he saw that scene, or the way he saw or heard Luffy's words, where it was like, you know, he sees the Mary as more than just a ship, and he sees himself in what they're doing with the ship. He sees that, well, if the Mary's not good enough for this crew, well then what the fuck means that I'm good enough for this crew? Like, this is the only thing I'm here for. Like, I came with the ship. If they get rid of the ship, I mean, what do I even need to be here for?
Yeah, because he's been repairing it this whole time.
Right. Like that, like in his, probably very limited minded view, he might even see himself as like, this is the only reason I'm even on this crew anymore at the rate we're going. Cause this is like the only good thing this is the only useful thing I'm good for. And, like that demon just keeps weighing on him more and more and more. And I mean, that's what they were arguing about before, Luffy finally said, well, then why don't you just get the fuck off? And, Usopp finally he's like, it's come out. Everything that he's been fearing is exactly what's happened. So, and then Usopp, trying to be the best man he can be is just like, well, then fine, I'm out. That's the way it is. I don't know. The personal self-doubt is something I can always vibe with. That's just me personally. And I like seeing his metamorphosis into the good, strong, independent boy we all know. And he's still a best bro. What a guy. What about you? What are you most looking forward to for the cast?
The thing I kind of look forward to is actually just the movie.
Which movie?
Goddamn Z.
Oh, the Z. I'm still more of a Gold guy.
I get that. But I personally really enjoy Z. I'm like, from like the beginning all the way to the end. I probably rewatch that movie like once every 3 months or something.
Have you listened to the dub out of curiosity? They actually do dub they dub Aokiji's song that he sings at the end, which is fucking fire in both versions.
I don't know if it's like a primal thing where you just see a bunch of like dudes fighting for honor, and your inner self just goes, man, this is what I live for. This is why I was born.
This is why I was bored.
But it's really nice. And I love the marine shit because I've always loved the marine side of things in One Piece. And I feel like
marine
that's something
side. We barely even talked about that, dude. I can't wait till we see some marine side of things.
I really want marine like story. I want like if they ever like do a side thing, I want to see Kobe's side of stuff. Like he's training, he's out there destroying pirates, and then in the newspaper he keeps hearing of Luffy's exploits. Those, like, I feel like that'd be so interesting to do. And the thing I love most about Z is that it feels like a real film, if that makes sense.
For sure.
Like a lot of these anime movies, they usually like they feel like anime, but like a longer, like a higher production anime episode. But for some reason, I get more of a film vibe with Z. Like from the beginning, we just like if this was like just a random one-off, this would be like a really good thing outside of like some story elements like Aokiji, and like some of these characters that you don't really know who they are until they pop in later on in the series. But like the camera work, because the way they place everything, all of it, I just love all of the things. And then the fight sequences, dude, you know them.
Yeah, I mean the fight sequences in Z are fucking top notch. That's for fucking
great.
Sure.
We get not only do we get some top tier Sanji plays, dude, Zoro actually gets a real fight.
Against somebody who doesn't even have swords, by the way, which is like the real kicker.
And she holds her own, that character. Yeah,
she does.
They have one specific scene that I really want to break down, but it's really hard to do in an audio form here. But there's a scene where all the Marines are trying to fight Z himself. And I can like describe it scene by scene. One of them uses armament hockey, like he just empowers himself and he goes, I'm like that thing they do where they like put their arms to the side and you can feel the aura coming out of them.
Yeah.
And you know what he does? He just punches him straight in the gut, and the guy goes, and just drops. But they do a wide shot of that fight, and like all the choreography, you can see it. You can see all the work that went into like seeing the movement and all that shit, and I love it.
No, and then the best part about Z too is that even in addition to all that choreography, is you just get like all of this, like, you know, all these Marines are like, you know, they respect Z because he used to be like a major commander. He used to like teach a lot of them.
That's the best part. Is that this is like watching a bunch of children fight their father.
Yes, sir.
And then by the end of it, they're all like, they have to kill him because that is what they were trained to do, to kill the bad guy. And the bad guy ended up being the guy who trained them. And then they're all just sitting there like with this his anime scene, shadows in their eyes with tears coming down, and they're singing.
With the tears coming down, dude. How the mighty have fallen.
They kill him. Like he doesn't die like he doesn't get shot down or anything. Like the last scene of him is straight up going, I can do this all day, and then they do like a freeze cut, and then it just straight to his grave. It's really nice. I really
you're right.
enjoy
No,
that
that's some cinematic shit. No, you ain't wrong. I like that shit a lot.
It's really good. Like I think I saw it in theaters, I believe, and I was bawling by the end of that. Like they started singing, and I was like, please, I'm with friends.
I'm with friends. No, dude, when we do finally get to it, it's a shame that we only get to start really delving into the Marines after Skypiea. We have one more arc before we're finally going to start looking at some Marines, which is hilarious because we're going to be 200 episodes into this shit and still not really know the Marines. I think we get a little bit of backstory. Look, we're going to meet Kuma and Doflamingo really soon. I think that they're going to get introduced in like a one-off scene just before they start the Skypiea events. And then we're also going to see a little bit of Navy HQ, and I think we're going to meet the Elders or something like that. But beyond that, we're going to meet Aokiji right before Water 7, and then we're finally going to get to like Eni's Lobby, and we're going to get CP0. We're going to finally realize that the Navy is like a force to be reckoned with, and they're not going to be all fucking throwaway fucking fodder and shit like that. Oh man, it's going to be so good.
I think the back to the power scaling. The one thing that they do the best, like this is the part where I agree with you. The best thing that they do in the power scaling for this show is that Luffy does not get the power up until Water 7.
Yeah, agreed.
And then when the first time he goes second gear, everyone and their mothers, which is like just putting their hands up in the air and going, "What is this? What is this? A power up? Oda, you can do this?
You can just do this? This is a thing now?" And then we got fucking Sanji who could just magically make fire appear on his legs.
Yeah, he can do that because he those boots are made of the super material.
Oda said it in an SBS that he can summon fire because of his burning heart. I'm not even kidding. That was his justification. That was his justification. What a fucking guy. I love it. He's like, you know what? I'm going to have the 7 powers like from the CP9 guys, but then on the side, I'm just going to make it so that anyone can use fire now just because I feel like it.
It's true.
Fucking good.
But yeah, and then eventually Luffy just becomes a guy like Ichigo. He just a little bit of everything.
Yeah, he does kind of gather a little bit. Well, Gear 4th is kind of, it's a double-edged sword. It gives him the ability to have like monster power for like other people in the Grand Line, but it also is annoying because like you pretty much just kind of get a get out of jail free card in terms of writing for your character, because like when he wrote Gear 4th, the original Bounce Man that we have is like his base form, but then he also implements Tank Man, which is like he's not very fast or he's not very smart, but he's like got a lot of defense, or he doesn't have a lot of offense and he's not very speedy, but he's got a lot of defense. And then he's got Snake Man, which he used against Katakuri, where he doesn't really have any defense, but he has crazy speed and really good offense. And then basically it's going to a point where he can turn Gear 4th into whatever grab bag of, utility he needs in order to beat the enemy, which, I mean, it can be fun to a degree. I do think that it's going to be really cool when he turns into, my personal headcanon is that he'll eventually have Tiger Man. And then it'll be a tiger versus Kaido, who's a dragon, so that he can have the full effect of tigers versus the classic. That's my personal headcanon. But, and I mean, like, I don't know. Because second gear is super hype. Third gear was also like a really fun idea. I don't know if it warranted an entire gear like second gear did, but I love the idea.
I love the drawback, but I feel like he should have kept the thing where he becomes tiny after he uses it.
Well, the deal is that he got so used to using it that it didn't really come with that drawback. But then and then they tried to do that with Gear 4th though, where like instead of being tiny, he like literally could not move if he was in Gear 4th for too long. And now they're starting to throw that one out the door slowly but surely, where he can just kind of go into Gear 4th whenever he wants. I
really enjoy anytime he's tiny. Like whenever he does the thing and then it becomes tiny, and it's like watching baby Luffy fight people.
No, that is a really good gag though.
What's his face? Let's talk about upgrades. Let's talk about character upgrades. And probably my favorite one is the Skywalk.
The Skywalk, dude. They're Blue Walk for Sanji. Sanji's gets Blue Walk. Well, it's fantastic because at the very least, it's not like completely out of left field, because they had already established that they have the 6 powers, 7 powers. I think it's 6 powers,
they do that
actually.
In Skypiea too. They establish it from there.
Right. That like people can just fucking fly. Like get over it. Like so they give it to, and I love how the way they explain that he learns how to do it. He's just fucking running
He's just so
from all.
terrified that he runs into the air.
He doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be a cross dresser. He doesn't want to be a drag queen so bad that he literally learns to run on air. What a coon! I love that explanation. I don't even care. And then a lot of people don't really care for what was the other upgrade that Sanji got when he can now turn into stealth black or whatever it's called from his family. Yeah, so he gets like his whole family are Power Rangers, basically Nazi Power Rangers, mind you, where they believe in like cloning and perfect human beings and powers and shit like that. But they also have scientific nonsense where that like enhance their abilities and whatnot. And they made one for Sanji, even though he was like the black sheep. And funny enough, they gave him the black colored one because he is the black sheep, and he's also black leg. Ha ha! It's all full circle. And basically giving him the extra speed, and he can go invisible. Which, fun fact, does anyone remember what his favorite fruit was that he was looking for back when he was in Thriller Bark?
So he gets become invisible.
He's got what he wants, man.
We all know why. We don't need to say why. We know why.
Yeah, we know why. We all know why. Yo, dude, I'm right there. I feel you, bro. But no, yeah. So he can go invisible. He's got like super extra speed or whatever. A lot of people in the community were like super upset about it too. Like they were like, dude, this is such a cop out. Like I want to see him actually like progress as a character, not just like get a free upgrade.
Though. Like no one's gonna talk about how Usopp's using all these like plants.
Right, that's where I'm at.
That's the same process. It's like the fact that he gets plants that like do all these magical things. It's the same step as in Sanji getting this suit to help him fight better.
And I think the part where, because at first he was like, no, I ain't gonna use this garbage, that's from my family. And then like Usopp and Luffy are like, no, dude, please, like what if this is really fucking cool? What if you look really cool? Like you could be a Power Ranger. How are you not psyched about this? You get these fucking idiots. And then I love the idea that Sanji can like fucking accept his past and move forward with it, and then just like toss it to Frankie and be like, hey Frankie, so I got this thing from my family. Can you at least like put us on brand for a straw hat or something at the very least? I might as well use it, right? And then Frankie will be like, bruh, I got you. As your resident engineer, I will fuck with this thing. You want nipple lasers? I'll give you nipple lasers.
I wouldn't be surprised if later on Frankie has like different like versions of it, but not like a full suit, like small parts of it. Like you get a helmet, you get some gloves, here's some boots if you want them.
No, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm genuinely hoping that at some point in the story, they like either Usopp or Frankie like come together and work with Sanji on the suit to be like, hey, bro, like we know you don't really love it, but we can at least, make it straw hat-ized. and then you get Sanji who's like, I don't know if I love that idea, but fuck it, do something with it, I guess. if it helps. And then you see like a fucking like straw hat on the cape or something like that. Like there are ways to make it sweet, and I don't think it's a cop out at all. I feel like
there's no way.
It's a callback to his upbringing and his family.
It's no different from Nami's thing too. The staff that she uses.
Oh, how about the part where she literally just now owns the fucking cloud from Big Mom or whatever?
She owns a cloud. How is this? What? No one's mad about this?
Well, I think to be fair, recently Big Mom took it back, and I don't know if she got it back yet.
No.
Very, very recently, Big Mom took it back.
I really enjoyed that fact that she owns a cloud.
That she owns the cloud.
I really love that tidbit. Like, you look at Nami beginning a series, you're like, you can own a cloud.
Did you ever see that panel where she captures the cloud for the first time?
I saw it. That's great.
She's like, hey, little fucking boy, you belong to me now. And then you just see the cloud face going like, I need an adult.
I'm in danger.
I'm in danger. So fucking good, dude. And no one bitches about Zoro when he gets a brand new fucking sword, is all I'm saying. Because he did return the Black Blade, by the way. He let the people of Wano keep it, and now he has, do you know anything about that Odin guy from Wano?
You've told me about him.
Okay, so Odin is Momonosuke's dad, and he's like there was like a big plot line about him and Kaido or whatever in the past, but he was a two-sword style user, and one of the two swords that he used got inherited by Momonosuke's sister, who's a character in the Wano arc. But she gave the sword to Zoro and was like, hey, if you give us the national treasured sword, I will let you have my father's old sword. And then Zoro was like, huh, you drive a hard bargain.
Deal.
I'll take it.
You telling me you want to take the cursed sword away? Sure.
To be fair, I don't think the black one was cursed.
Oh, which one was the cursed one then?
That's the Katetsu, which he still does have. Oh, but that's another funny thing. The semi-upgraded version of the Kitetsu was used by Luffy for a hot minute, and I don't even know where the fuck it went. Because there's 3 of them. The big one we haven't seen yet, but I'm pretty sure is owned by one of the elders on the Navy. The 3rd level is what Zoro has, and the 2nd level was introduced right at the start of Wano, and Luffy stole it and started using it for a hot minute. And now I don't know what happened to it, but he never took that sword back, so it's out there somewhere.
A question, because I haven't seen anything about it. Has Zoro opened his eye yet? What's up with his eye?
It's still to
nothing?
be determined.
Still a mystery?
No one fucking knows. Don't open up that can of worms, man. You got all these people out here who are like, dude, it's the Sharingan, dude, it's the fucking Renegade. You
think I'm not saying that too? You think I'm not one of those people?
Stop, please. Nonsense. Fucking nonsense.
All right, what are your theories on that eye? I think the theory is that if he opens that eye, his observation haki activates to the max, but he can only use it for a certain amount of time.
This is my theory. There was a really good cartoon that I saw one time on the subreddit. A really good explanation. What happened was Zoro was showing Mihawk was showing Zoro how to use like armament haki or observation haki or one of the two. And when Zoro was practicing, all that happened was Zoro was like, yo, hey Mihawk, can I use your little knife really quick? And Mihawk was like, sure. And he took the little knife and he tried to stab himself in the eye, and he failed to use he failed to put armament haki on his eye, and was like, huh, I guess I didn't do it right.
I thought you were gonna say he wanted to master observation so bad that he didn't want to focus on 2 eyes, so he took out 1 eye.
No, way stupider than that. It was literally Zoro just like, I can stop this with armament haki. Stab. And he was like, huh,
I think
that's
his Super Saiyan. He's waiting for the right moment to use it. Because I don't think he's been near death yet, right? He hasn't been like a near death situation yet.
The closest, I mean, he was in pre-time skip a lot, obviously.
Yeah.
But a lot, dude,
he
a lot.
His ass beat, Jesus Christ.
His ass beat, dude. But no, in New World, he hasn't been challenged by anyone really yet, which is like good and bad, because like it's good because it still gives like the audience the like the ability to believe that he can keep up with like the heavy hitters of like, you know, the enemies and whatnot. But it's kind of bad because then you start to like wonder if there's even any reason to really believe in the strength of the enemy or whatever until you get to like the baddest ones possible or whatever. It's good to see your character struggle a little bit here and there.
He does struggle, but not as much as you would think.
Nah, New World Zoro is like fucking, he's constantly going up on bitches being like, you all suck, I'm better than you. Like, not a single one does he take seriously.
My God. What other upgrades do we have? We have what did Robin get? I forget. She just got like more knowledgeable, right? Like she just got more experience.
When she came back after the time skip, all she could do was she could now make, like, instead of like 1 million hands that are hand sized, she can now make a giant hand and a giant leg come out of places.
Which is badass in some of these fight scenes.
Which is pretty fucking good. I mean, that's like a pretty useful change. But I mean, other than that, like, she hasn't gotten like upgrades or anything like that recently. Not that I know of.
She's got connections is what she's got. She's got connections to that Revolution Army.
And I don't think Chopper hasn't gotten anything new other than
he got the the ability to transform without the Rumble.
Yep, he can transform into all of his modes without the Rumble Ball. He can turn into the Monster Point with the Rumble Ball.
You can't say he didn't get anything, all right? We got Kung Fu Chopper.
We got Kung Fu. Shut up! I fucking hate Kung Fu.
What,
Chopper.
you hate it?
Can I say this? Old Chopper designs so much better.
No,
than
I
new
agree.
Chopper designs.
His old character I liked old Chopper better, but little Kung Fu Chopper, I can dig it.
You like Kung Fu Chopper?
I love it.
I won't say I hate it.
Chopper's just straight up a pet now. Like the joke went too far.
it just kept going and spiraling until it couldn't go any further or whatever. And I mean, I'm not saying that I don't understand why they changed his hat to the hat plus a bonnet on top or whatever, but it feels like they're throwing away a really good memory of Hero Look by covering the hat up with the bonnet, all right? It makes me sad. I get it. I get what they're doing. He's a doctor. He's wearing a doctor's bonnet, but fuck, man, I want to see the fucking hat.
Usopp got swole. Good moment when he came in finally after the time skip and you see his abs.
No, I was just going to say, he comes back, fucking swole as shit, got a brand new arsenal of like BB stuff or whatever, plant-related shit from the island. But I don't think he's gotten anything new in New World. So I think the only ones who have gotten like new stuff is probably Nami, Sanji, and Luffy for the most part. Oh, and Zoro.
Yeah, I like the small little tidbits of everyone now having observation hockey for some reason.
Well, hold on. I don't think all of them do, though. I don't think Robin, Frankie, Nami.
I was just making a joke because now like 6 of them do.
Okay, yeah. Well,
like,
it was definitely...
we got Sanji's proven now that he can do it.
Sanji's had it. In fact, I would say that Sanji's observation hockey is probably the best next to Luffy's, if anything.
And then Zoro has small bits of it, even in where we are in the cast right now, where he's pretty much seen bits of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, he wants to give all of the major characters like these little power. Like, I mean, even in what's it called in Punk Hazard, they reference it. Sanji does have observation hockey. And Zoro does too, but Zoro has very prominent armament hockey, and Sanji he does have armament hockey, but he doesn't have it quite as good as Zoro does. And then Usopp eventually learns observation hockey when he's in Dressrosa, having to like shoot that pellet for sugar or whatever.
It really comes out of nowhere too. Like he's like, "What is this? What am I seeing?
How do I like see everything?"
I can see sound.
I can see the sounds, dude. No, that's like what happened with Kobe. You remember when he wakes up after the war or whatever, and he's like fucking freaking out, and he's like, dude, I can hear everything. I can hear the blinks. And then the guy's just like, oh no, you're just starting to figure out hockey, you fucking idiot.
He's like, hockey? I've been here for 40 years. You've never described to me this power that you people know?
Kobe's like, I've been a main character for 500 episodes. And then you got the doctor being like, slow down, buddy.
No, the doctor goes, I've got some bad news for you, boy. You're nowhere near the main character.
That's what I'm saying.
You get one scene every 400 episodes and maybe a movie.
And maybe a movie if you're fucking lucky.
Anyway, I think let's wrap this up with picking our favorite openings and endings. If you want to do that.
I would love to do that. I'm going to say this. We actually are at my favorite opening.
The current one? Really?
Correct. Well, okay. Let me put a caveat here. I would say that my absolute favorite period is the last opening right before the time skip. But this opening is my like sleeper favorite because this one and the next one are the last openings that Funimation did in dub, and I love the dub opening for this particular OP. I love it so fucking much. It sounds perfect. I would replicate it if I was musically talented on anything other than vocals. It is so much fucking fun. I love when my fucking anime music is translated. I'm sorry, people. I hope that's cool. I'd like translated anime music, damn it.
That's all you, by the way. I prefer the Japanese, but I'm glad you enjoy it.
It's pretty fire. I'm a big fan. So I would say that, I guess, as a whole package, no, the one just before the time skip is probably my favorite, like objectively. But this is like, this one hits. The one that we're on right now hits me on like a spiritual level either way.
That is the one you're talking about is the 14th one, right?
I think it's 14 or something. It's like I know it's like
it's Fight Together.
Yeah, Fight Together. You got it. That's it.
It's pretty good because it has the really slow part where it shows everybody. Like after watching this shit for like maybe 10 years or something, watching an opening like that really helps you remember where everything came from.
No, dude, I cry like a little bitch every time I listen to Fight Together. I don't even care.
In the free streaming world, that's a really big thing. But now that we can like just grab a scene whenever we want, it just kind of takes away the charm.
And then in terms of ED, we're pretty close. I would say that, I think it's going to be the next one. It's the Robin ED. I would say that's probably my favorite ED.
Nah, bro. I'm an OG guy. Like we've already passed the best one in my opinion.
Oh, what was yours? What was
the
it?
original one.
The original ED?
The very first one.
No, there's another one that's really fucking good. The Robin ED is really good, and then the one that comes up, I think it's like the one right after that, where it's like kind of like a little hip hop thing, where it's where it kind of like pans over all of their like costumes or something over the course of the last few arcs or whatever. That one's pretty good. I like that one a lot. And then the only other one I can recall that I like a lot is actually the one we just passed, or the one we're on. I think it's the one we're on. There's like an ED where you see all of the major Straw Hats and they're just like big chillin' in like a random ass fucking town in the middle of fucking nowhere, like as all of like the set pieces.
I really enjoyed the one before that one, the one with Vivi in the desert.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, I mean the one that I think we're either on or we just passed, I can't remember. It's like, I don't think the song is necessarily like that great. That's why I don't really want to put it on the list, I guess. But there's something that I really gravitate towards, like just seeing all of the Straw Hats, like just big chilling in like a random ass town. Every single like main panel they use is like easily wallpaper like esque, in my opinion. I would totally have any one of them be like my background on my desktop or something like that. Super fun, super chill.
I'm personally partial to the first opening, the Fight Together one, and the hypest one outside of the original is the first one they do after the time skip.
Yeah, We Go is really fucking good.
The opening snare just gets you. Like that shit starts up, you're like, oh my god, it's starting. Get the popcorn, dude. Mom.
You know, funny enough, I don't really think any of the newest ones can hold a candle to most of the older ones.
Yeah, I've had friends show me the newer ones, and I don't really like. Maybe it's just because I'm not watching it. I don't sense the hype.
Yeah, the closest one that I thought was like a banger outside of We Go was probably there was another one that's sung by the same band that did Fight Together. It was one of the ones in Whole Cake Island. That one was really good. I like that one a lot.
It was called Hope.
Hope. Yeah. I like that one a lot.
Number 20.
Hope was good. So there you go. There's my OP. There's my AD.
Speaking of music, I just want to give a big shout out to the composers.
Oh?
The two main composers. I've Googled it. I've researched it. I half-assed researched it. All right, don't at me.
Proud of you.
And in all the like the artist section, like composer section, they have the name Kohei Tanaka. He's done work for Dragon Ball and G Gundam. Good stuff right there. And the second guy who's also worked alongside that guy is Shiro Hamaguchi, and he's done work for like multiple Final Fantasy games, and he's also done work for that show I recommended, Shirobako, and it's really nice to finally know their names.
It's good to finally be able to respect the guys that I've been ingesting for content all these years. Ingesting
their
my
music
content
is
on
so
all these
iconic.
years.
No one can watch this show and go, the music's all right.
That is impossible. One Piece has some of the best scores, honestly, in any, not just shonen, but in most anime, I would argue.
From day one, we mentioned this in that podcast where we don't really talk about much. The music's been a banger since day one.
Facts.
From the
Absolute
very first
facts.
episode, the music just comes in and you go, what is this? Who made this?
It's upbeat. It's catching. It's catchy. There's really nothing to complain about, and everything's so memorable. Like I can hear a One Piece tune and I'll know immediately that it's from One Piece.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
And I really love how they don't waste soundtracks that they make. So I don't know if you know this, but a lot of the songs you hear at the end, like the recent anime, a majority of that stuff was actually made for the first movie of One Piece. So like if you're really looking for a collection, you have to look at both the series original soundtracks and the movie soundtracks, as well as the specials, because they used the Django song for the episode that we watched last time.
Oh my god, they used the Django song.
I think, yeah, but shout out to the music.
Absolutely. No, I mean I would say that Naruto comes a very close second in terms of like just sheer scope and being as memorable as One Piece, but I feel like the reason why Naruto is so memorable is because like it needs kind of a gimmick. It's like that weird sort of like new wave rock mixed with like old style Japanese ninja sound, which is fantastic. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something very, I guess, normal about the One Piece music that's really easy to listen to. It doesn't need a gimmick to get the listener to be interested in the sound. I don't know. Maybe I'm just rambling. Maybe I'm just talking nonsense.
It might be rambling. The orchestral sounds that guy puts together really, really meld well with the theme. It's everything, right? We can end this.
Thank you for joining us on this ride. I love this series.
Hopefully we can continue to do it. Hopefully Dylan never quits.
No, I think Dylan's definitely going to stick around. You're the first person I would expect to quit.
What?
I'm just kidding.
You don't know that. You don't know I'm already having contact with some Naruto guys that want to make a podcast.
Oh my God. Was that what we're doing now? We're changing the Naruto rebrand.
We.
Oh shit, that's right. Yeah, you're going to leave us here. Fucking, don't worry. Well, we got the Dylan. As long as we get the Dylan, we're good.
Oh shit. No, I'm taking Dylan with you.
No, fuck you. Dylan's on contract. Fuck you.
All right. We're out of here. Thank you for listening.
And hope you all have a good one.